David Marcus. Andrew Tate is the woke left's young men's alienation over gender roles and masculinity has made this creep-rich. Andrew Tate is back in America, forcing us to confront his perverse messaging to a subset of America's young men. But what we really need to come to grips with are the social conditions in our culture that created an opening for this men's rights Frankenstein. Tate, 38, is a former professional kickboxer facing sex trafficking charges in Romania, serious enough that Florida Governor Ron DeSantis insists the podcast star is not welcome in the Sunshine State, where he landed earlier this week. The Florida Attorney General is now investigating Tate and his brother Tristan. Andrew Tate says he plans to live in Florida despite he whore over return to U.S. soil. Tate made a fortune off of a webcam model, read, porn, business, then began selling online courses ostensibly teaching alienated boys and young men how to become alpha males. His modus operandi seems to be to prowl around shirtless and scowling, cigar in hand, as he prattles on in rapid-fire fashion about how all women are whores and how his fans should treat them as such. Tate advises his followers to have children with as many women as possible and not worry too much about being a real father. He boasts about beating women, including during sex. Among his typical tidbits of advice is that it is better to have sex with a hot trans woman than an ugly actor, and these are some of the tamer aspects of his odious and morally bankrupt worldview. I was relieved a few years back, when, just as Tate was becoming internet famous, I asked my then preteen son if he knew about him. Yeah, he replied, that guy is an idiot. My friends and I call him Tater-tot. But for many young men, then and now, Tate is a revered figure, the man who will finally tell them the honest, ugly truth about women, and help them achieve masculine perfection in a society that he insists victimizes men. Across the manosphere of podcasters, this idea that men are second-class citizens in everything from education and employment to entertainment is a common theme. It gains traction because it is not entirely without credence. But in the end, what well-meaning male advocates and the cringe-worthy cretinous Tates of the world see as the oppression of men is actually a deep confusion over what becoming a man means in a world where our educational and social systems have been increasingly feminized. Tate brothers are brought in by police officers at the Bucharest Court of Appeal. Woman.